We just launched a whole new side of Solex, the AO Infinity line. And it's exciting because there's some products in there that are really outstanding. And at first when it came out, people were going, this doesn't have anything to do with the scanner. And the truth is, it has everything to do with the scanner. Because these are tools, when coupled with the scanner, make the scanner and the tool more effective, than them on their own.
Right.
And so the first one is the Infinity Wand, and you have some experience with the terahertz side of the wand.
Yes.
Why don't you share some of that with us?
Well, I started using terahertz probably a year and a half or so before you launched Infinity Wand, and I was blown away. I had never heard anything about it until a technology had come out promoting terahertz. And so I did a lot of research, and literally it boiled down to terahertz is that neutral frequency between far infrared and microwave, where you've got your ionizing frequencies and your non-ionizing frequencies. And terahertz is neutral, meaning it can't hurt anyone.
Correct.
But it's also like life force energy. It's the vibration of a perfect, healthy human cell. So as, we talk a lot about cellular voltage, and as the energy is depleted from the cell, that's where we start leading to pain, inflammation, different disease situations, or just, out of balance.
Right.
Well, what if we can blow life force energy back into the body at the cellular level? So that's what I've seen is where, literally with terahertz, we're using it on the body on energetic points as well as physical points, because we can actually clear blockages, whether it's energetic blockages or physical blockages, which now the body is working the way that it's supposed to, so it can self-correct all of those things that have happened from that depleted cellular voltage.
So true. So I'm going to take two words that you said, terahertz and life force energy. Now, you mentioned those to the average person on the street, and they're going to think you're from some voodoo colony, okay? But let's bring those into today's reality. Volkswagen, their paint division, uses a terahertz measuring device to measure the thickness of the paint on the body of the car. Terahertz is a real scientific method of doing lots of things. So their terahertz is not a voodoo thing. It's a real science.
Well, they also use it in scanning systems in the airports because
Absolutely.
It's less harmful than what they were using before.
Correct. The other one is life force energy. That's another one of those almost new age things. But what is life force energy? Life force energy, food is life force energy. Yeah. Good, healthy water, clean water is life force energy. So these are things that we get stuck on misinformation, and it's sad because we're limiting ourselves to old ideas and in a lot of cases wrong ideas.
Yeah.
So what you just mentioned about the terahertz as a neutral frequency, that is wonderful because it's true. You can use terahertz on your body and not hurt you.
Right.
It doesn't matter where it goes on your body.
Right.
It's not going to hurt you.
Right.
And it is giving you that life force energy, just like food and water, exercise do. So with your terahertz, and I know you've been hit with this a few times as we have, how do I use it? Where do I use it? How long do I use it? These are tough ones because they're so easy to answer.
Well, some people have the analysis paralysis, and they think they have to follow everything to the T or it's not going to work. Well, you really don't need to. Also, the thing that makes terahertz so powerful is that rapid vibration. And what happens when you're blowing that towards the body where there are cells that have been mutated, they literally liquefy because they can't take that powerful vibration. Right. And the cells that have got some damage to it, it actually can bring health back to them. So you don't have to put it anywhere in particular, just blow it on your body.
That's right. It's like getting into the shower and say, well, I spent 5 minutes with the shower on my back. Now I got to turn around and do 5 minutes on the... You just need a shower.
Yes.
And with the terahertz, it's the same thing. You just need that energy on your body.
Yes.
Sometimes it's best on your feet, maybe on your knee. It doesn't really matter where it goes. One of the things they do with the terahertz wand is they'll aim it towards water. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, I charge my water every morning.
So you charge your water.
I do.
With the terahertz.
With the terahertz.
There you go.
I learned a long time ago that the magnetic gas of the planet has, been affected with atomic bombing and all kinds of things that man's doing to just destroy our atmosphere. And what happens is water molecules are sticking together. So they're too large to get, clumping, too large to get in and out of the cells. So when you've got people saying, well, I drink a ton of water, but they're clinically dehydrated, the water's just not able to get in the cells.
So true.
So we've been structuring water with magnets and all kinds of different things. But I love using my terahertz wand because not only am I structuring the water back to that linear form so it can get in and out of my cells for better hydration, but I'm also putting life force energy into there.
So I'm going to go back to two words again. Structuring water and charging water are really just fancy ways of saying we're declumping the water. We're getting it down to smaller clumps, to what you referred to as linear form, to where the cells are in smaller groups, or the water is in smaller molecules to where the cells can absorb them. And that's really what it is. Again, let's take it out of that voodoo realm and help people understand all we're doing is making the water more hydrationable to the body. Does that make sense? And that's not really a word, hydrationable, but I made one up. So that's where it's at. But when water is coming down a waterfall and it's going over the rocks and over the thing, that's what's happening there. It's being structured and it's being charged.
Exactly.
And all we're doing it with the terahertz is we're adding the motion and the airflow. Mm-hmm. Now, in the Infinity Wand, we've added a couple other things that aren't in some of the other wands on the market. One is the ionic gold and ionic silver exchange. So as the air flows over those two plates of silver and gold, it adds that energy of gold and silver. We know that that's a real thing because that's what we use on our circuit boards is silver and gold, because the data can flow freely and more unobstructed on a gold and silver trace. By adding that to your water now has that extra charge. The other thing that we do is we add side-bin. So as the air flows through that, it's going over the side-bin beads as well as the 7 crystals that have been broken up, kind of like the water on a waterfall. As the air flows over that, it's being bumped and structured as it goes through. So these are the things that the AO Infinity Wand does differently than other ones in the market.
Also, it has the red light and the blue light.
Great, yeah.
Red light therapy, people use this a lot for pain and inflammation and even skin conditions. Blue light also has been known for a lot of
antiviral, so it can be used for antiviral and antibacterial as well.
Exactly.
Because so those two, and you're putting that into your water. Now, on the red and the blue, that's going to be more efficient on our skin, rather than in the water.
Right.
And maybe even a little bit of the terahertz flowing over the crystals. But that's what is the difference between the Infinity Wand and the other ones on the market.
Well, and the motor that we have also, it's like a 2,000 hour motor compared to like a 200.
Yeah.
So this is going to last so much longer for people, and it's so much more reliable and sturdy. So I did a comparison actually, because I have all the other ones. I have all of them. I want to try them all out. And I did a comparison the night that we launched the Infinity Wand and put one of them in the box with my Infinity, and it was a little embarrassing because I now have this nice Rolls Royce at a fraction of the price of this other device that I had, and it put it to shame.
Wow.
So the top device that we've had, it's around $4,000. And our Infinity Wand way outperforms that device at a fourth of the cost.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Well, our whole goal here at Solex is to make it to where we can bring products to the public that are worth the money and actually do what they say that they can do. And that's good to hear.
Well, I appreciate that because we knew that the cost of these things were way overpriced. Yeah. And they just recently raised them again.
Oh, my word.
And there's all kinds of quality issues with those. So that's another thing that I was saying. When I put it next to my older devices, we already knew there's defects with melting and burning up and blowing up and fan blades breaking off. And I mean, just all kinds of things. It's like, why are people spending that kind of money for that kind of performance when now we literally have a Rolls Royce that we've never had any of these things happen? It's a much better quality, again, at a quarter of the price. And not only that, I haven't seen any company do what Solex is doing, where we get a 30% off loyalty coupon every 3 months for having an active subscription. And we can use that on these higher device items.
That's wonderful. It makes it to where you can get it.
Oh my gosh.
The one thing I think I would like to just say on this too is we'll have people say, well, if I have it this close, I get this much heat. And if I have it, the way it feels on you is going to be different than the way it feels on somebody else because of hydration levels, skin type, what, there's so many things. So you adjust it to where it's comfortable
exactly
for you. Maybe you need to be 6 or 7 inches away where somebody else might be able to get the same benefit at, 3 inches.
Well, and it's going to change.
Yes.
As the body is healing itself, the sensitivity starts changing.
Yes.
Literally, when I had an injury, I have an old injury in my ankle. And when I started using my Infinity Wand with that, I could not get very close to that area. I could blow the rest of my body really close. But that area, it was on fire because there's blockages in there and it's much more sensitive.
Right.
And I love that you hit on the hydration. People have got to drink water because we're electrical beings and we're using electrical currents. So we've got to stay hydrated. A power plant can't produce electricity without water.
That's right.
Neither
Not
can
for
the
very
human
long.
body. Exactly.
Along with that, we as Americans, we tend to think of a little bit as good. A lot's better.
Right.
And in most cases, it's the opposite.
Right.
And so we need to get into the habit of using it for what we need and don't overdo it.
Exactly.
And that's with everything.
Another thing that I was thinking when we were talking about charging the water, I literally have a hairdryer stand and I just hold it up over my water. I like that instead of blowing through the glass. It's just me. But what I notice is when I go to turn it off, it's like my body's like, just blow it on us, please. Because seriously, your nervous system relaxes. It's like an air of negative ions. And I tend to want to blow my face and my neck. For one, I've got a lot of sun damage, opening my throat chakra to speak for myself, thyroid weakness. So it's like the body will tell you what it wants. You have to be in tune. Listen to what your body's telling you. Start blowing it and trust your intuition with where your body wants it.
So that is the thing that we try to teach people. Listen.
Yes.
Listen here.
And you can't do it wrong.
No, you can't.